Welcome to the Software People Stories. I'm Shiv.
I'm Chitra,
And I'm Gayatri.
We bring you interesting, untold stories of people.
associated with the creation
Or consumption of software-based solutions.
You'll hear stories of what worked.
and sometimes what didn't,
You will also hear very personal experiences.
and insights that would trigger your thoughts.
And inspire you to do even greater things.
Welcome to this episode of the Software People Stories. This is very special for me. Not only that it is part of the women's series for the month of March, but it also features the youngest guest we've had so far. Anjali Jayaraman, a 7th grader, has been coding for 4 years already. In this conversation, she talks about her interests in other areas, including animals, horses and dogs, and how she got into coding, and how she uses logic even to interact with animals, and about creating a game of tic-tac-toe and play with an AI opponent. And when I asked her how she finds time to programming among all that, the response was epic. Don't miss that. And the pranks that she and a friend play during online classes is again something very delightful. Her experience with using big computers and how she gets into a state of flow by calming her mind when she writes programs. And when I asked her if there is a difference between boys and girls in terms of how they learn programming, her answer again is something that you must listen to. And of course, I asked her any message that she might have for the older women in IT, and we conclude the conversation there. Don't miss this. It's a very refreshing conversation. And all the best, Anjali, for all your dreams. Hi, Anjali. Welcome to the Software People Stories.
I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited. You're the first 11-year-old that we are going to be having on our podcast. Yeah. So can you introduce yourself, Anjali, for the benefit of our listeners?
So, my name is Anjali. I started coding when I was 7 years old when I went to the Hatch School of Code Institution. I like horses and dogs. I also like to swim. I am in 7th grade. I just like coding in general because it requires a lot of logic and math. My favorite subject are math, science, and English. I like to draw, sing, and I like to do many stuff.
Wonderful. So what was the first trigger? How did you develop an interest in coding?
My mother just wanted me to do some logic based thing. I was more of an introvert, so she likes to put me in many classes. So she tried out coding and I took an interest to it. She showed me a couple of things like videos and tutorials. I enjoyed it. So she went through Google and found Hatch School of Code and I was there. I joined and I was like the only child there at first with another boy named Kian. And secretly, as I said, I'm an introvert, but I like to compete in secret with any other people around me. So I was like quickly trying to finish all the courses before him.
Oh, nice. One curiosity question. You said you like horses and dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it reading about them or actually interacting with them?
Oh, interacting with them, definitely.
So do they follow any logic? Can you use any logic to interact with dogs and horses?
Yes, I can. I attend horse riding classes, so I have to use some logic to get it to follow my commands.
Oh.
And how to make dogs like me, logic.
Oh, that's very interesting. So what do you like about coding?
I don't really like the theory parts, to be honest, but I love to just sit for hours and hours just like.
So how do you get the idea for writing a program?
Well, there are some things that I like to do, or things that I'm too lazy to do. Like like doing long division or something. So I just like, since I know how to program, I just quickly write a code for that and it solves it for me.
Hmm. Doesn't it take longer to write code to do division than actually doing the division?
It depends. If I feel in a math mood, I'll just do the division itself.
Mhm.
But since I already know how to code all this, so it just takes like 5 minutes.
Wow. So do your teachers like that?
I haven't done it in school, but like my mother gives me sometimes some tests and
Okay.
worksheets, so I do it then.
Hmm. So what do you find as the most challenging part of writing a program?
The syntaxes, the errors, the
Mhm.
fact that even one semicolon can wipe out an entire program.
Hmm. So do you have any favorite languages? I believe you know a lot of languages.
I don't know many, but I like Python
Mhm.
mostly
Why?
because it's easier because it's not case sensitive.
Mhm.
Like it'll give like prompts,
Mhm.
so it's a lot easier to figure out the syntaxes.
Hmm. So what is the recent program that you wrote?
It was a tic-tac-toe program where
Hmm.
it would pop up in a new window and
Mhm.
you can play tic-tac-toe with an AI.
Oh, okay. So have you heard of the current craze called Wordle?
Yes. My dad was playing it this morning.
Oh, okay. So have you, or would you be able to write a program to do something like that?
Yes, there is a code called random.random, and I can just like type in some things that it can randomize. And yeah,
Mhm.
sort of like rolling a dice. I have done a program like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but this is more about, there used to be a game, or still is a game called Cows and Bulls that we used to play on paper.
I've
Where,
never actually seen that game
oh,
before.
is it? Or called Battleship. That's another variation where
I've
you have
heard
to
of
guess.
Battleship.
Yeah, you have to guess. And it's both about the object and also the position where it is. So sometimes you may get it right saying that I have a ship or I have a submarine, I have a torpedo or a gun, but then it may not be in the right slot. So then you slowly try to figure out what might be the pattern. So Wordle is also somewhat similar, that you
Yeah.
get the letters, whether they are in the word or they are in the right place. And then
I feel
you,
like Wordle's a bit too hard because like there's a wide variety of words that can be there and they
Hmm,
don't even give you like one clue. So
right.
yeah.
So do you normally write your programs alone or with others?
It depends. Like when I'm in Hat School of Code, I do it with others
Mhm.
and like interact and discuss.
Mhm.
But at home, I do it alone. Sometimes discussing with my mother to see whether
Hmm.
she can come up with an answer.
Hmm. And I also heard that you've been participating and winning a lot of competitions.
Not winning a lot, but yeah, I do take part in some.
Mhm. So how do you come up with ideas when you enter a competition? Is it
I
something
just
that
think
they
of
give
the
you?
most creative thing and the easy thing that comes to mind, like maybe rolling a dice and guessing the number that was on the dice.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Hmm. So if you create a program to roll a dice, who wins more, the computer or you?
probably the computer.
But that's something that you wrote, right?
Yes, I know the way to do it, but it's not like there's only one thing where I know it. There are,
Uh-huh.
it's like multiple iterations of different numbers, so I can't tell which one it is.
Hmm. Okay.
While the computer can compute all possible probabilities.
Much faster, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you think we can use programming, to
I think we can do it everywhere.
Mhm.
From like I've seen many robots on YouTube's that make eggs,
Hmm.
for God's sake. So we can do pretty much anything. A robot that sings to you to go to sleep, to making your breakfast.
Mhm.
Robots and machines can do anything.
Hmm. So is that what you want to do? Write programs for robots or?
Yes, I do want to like take up a job where I can just write programs for robots and make them do what I want.
Hmm. Like the transformers or more? domestic robots?
A little more domestic. Like, since I can't get a dog, I would like to write a program for a robot dog.
Oh, nice. What are some difficulties you face when you're learning a new language or a tool?
It's more of the concept. Since it's so new, I don't know what to do in it. So I have to like start from the basics.
Hmm.
So that's the only issue.
Mhm. But you said that in the school where you went for the coding lessons,
Yes.
you were the only child, and when the instructor shares some examples,
Yeah.
is there any difference that you see the way the examples are picked or shared when it is for adults versus children?
Well, they try to simplify it as much as they can for the children, but they do also simplify it for adults, because since they're so new to the subject, it's not good to come up with some like very difficult scenario. So
So other than during the class, do you also have any other communities or forums where you can share your experience or discuss the problems, at least among children, people
not
of
really.
your age or your interest?
I have taken up a bit of quantum computing courses. So yeah, there is one forum like that, but that's mostly for the quantum computing subject. For Python, at least, not really.
So how much time do you spend on an average programming a day?
Maybe like half an hour to 1 hour a day.
Oh, but how do you find time? Because in addition to school and your other interests,
I'm a kid. I have plenty of time.
well, that's interesting. I thought kids are always doing things and then don't have enough time to do
Except
it.
school and maybe some extracurricular
Okay.
activities, we have a lot of time on our hands and we are easily bored.
Yeah.
So this is like God to us.
So do you have other friends also who from school or otherwise your age who are into programming?
Yes, my friend, yeah. My good friend, she also is in hack school. She's a little less advanced when it comes to me, but we are both taking up the same like high level course right now.
So what prompted her to get into coding?
Because of me.
Oh, wow.
She
So do
also
you-
like enjoys devices in general, so we both have similar interests, so that's the reason.
So what about school? Where do your other friends spend time on?
They mostly just like pull pranks on each other. That's it.
Actually, one of the persons I knew long back
Yeah.
used to write some program just to play pranks on others. He'll write some code, and then the next time someone comes to the computer, suddenly it starts behaving very strangely. But actually, it won't do anything bad. But then you press one key, he'll reprogram the keyboard.
Oh.
So you press one letter, it actually what it displays is another.
Oh,
To
I
be
don't know
that
that advanced and all, but
Huh?
yeah. My friend Bhairavi and I, we like to pull pranks on our teacher. Since we're in Zoom, like this, it's very difficult for the teacher. Like sometimes there are some problems, but mostly every day a new teacher comes. I don't know the reason why, but new teachers keep coming. So there's like a teacher 10.0. So since she's so new, she doesn't know what both of us looks like. Mostly it's a female. So we switch identities, like we switch profile pictures and names. And since she doesn't know our voice, we speak. So we just keep calling each other by our names. So she just gets confused. And then we flip back and tell her after that. So it's funny.
Yeah, don't the other students rat you out?
No.
No?
We're the only two in that Zoom call. So
Oh, okay. That's good. Do you have any role models when it comes to programming?
not really. I haven't actually seen many like great programmers, like people who are like celebrity programmers yet. But yeah.
Like people who wrote operating systems or someone who wrote Linux. You might have heard
One
of
of my
Linux?
idols is Grace Hopper, yeah, but
Okay.
no, it's not really.
Yeah. Yeah, Grace Hopper has a lot of following.
Yeah.
And there's also a big organization here in India that does events around Grace Hopper,
Yeah.
mainly the women in IT. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you probably also might have heard about the term bug.
Yes. Made by Grace Hopper, who found a bug in her system, a literal one.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And what about Ada? Ada Lovelace?
Yeah. Ada Lovelace. Yeah. She
Yeah.
also my like.
Yeah. So what would you want to be known for?
I would love to be known for creating like very big, like general AI
Mhm.
instead of narrow AI. I would like to be the first person to create that kind of person, like a robot who acts like a human, who can pass the Turing test with flying colors.
Wow. So do you also follow this supercomputer from IBM that almost...
Yes, I do use it sometimes. Like I go to Qiskit and I use like big computers
Mhm.
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of problems do you solve with those computers?
I just mostly make like in quantum computing terms, just make like gates and qubits, not too complex because I just started.
Mhm. So how do you find out about all these things?
One through my class, like quantum computing course, and another through like research, I guess.
Hmm.
Couple of tutorials. Yeah.
So let me go back to what you said earlier about learning how to communicate with animals, right?
Yeah.
So when you write programs, sometimes we find that some applications are very difficult to use
Yeah.
and very confusing as well. So is there anything that we can learn about how we communicate with, say, animals to design our programs?
Well, also when it comes to like dog training, there is like a pattern to that and quantum computing
Mhm.
or even general computing. You need to get the dog or animal or computer even to understand what you're asking of them and reward them based on what they do.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's the kind of thing you need to figure out, and that just goes through syntaxes, errors, trial and error. Yeah.
Hmm. So this half an hour or 1 hour that you spend in programming,
Yeah.
do you need to be in a particular frame of mind to do it, or you can do it any time of the day?
Yes, I need to be in that like calm
Mhm.
state of mind, and if I don't get something right, I sort of get frustrated,
Mhm.
and that's when I stop
Mhm.
and later come back to it and with a fresh state of mind, and I actually solve it quite easily.
Hmm. So how do you get to a calm state of mind?
Just relax, don't think about the problems, go through them one at a time. Even in my daily life I use algorithms
Mhm.
because I just, when I'm frustrated, I just take steps to calm down. So
So that helps in your regular school as well.
yes.
That's wonderful. So you said that you started coding when you were 7,
Yeah.
right? Do you think that was too late or too early?
Personally, I feel like that's a good time. In fact, I would have liked to start at 5, but I don't think I'm that smart enough.
And you underestimate yourself. Okay, so if you were to teach or get a 5-year-old to start coding, how would you start?
Well, start with like simple stuff. Like first teach them words and syntaxes, like basic ones like print, colons,
Hmm.
double quotes, such and such, like brackets. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then you like sort of you give them the spoon and they put it in their mouth kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So you like hold their hand and make them push the buttons
Mhm.
and then show them what happens.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then as they get older and learn more, you can teach them more advanced things. But it also comes with maturity levels. Like at one point, the kid just can't learn more until they're older.
Mhm.
That's happened before with me.
Okay.
So yeah, that. it also requires age.
Okay. This may be a little bit of a confusing question. So do you think, is there any difference in the way boys learn coding and girls learn coding? You said you used to compete with a boy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How
Well,
he would approach solving a problem, or how your algorithm versus his algorithm, have you seen any differences?
well, it depends on how the mind thinks. Like humans are biased, so they will go about what they want in their own way. But I may go about it in a different way. But in general, I don't think boys and girls have a difference. It just everybody is different. Not like one side is the same, one side is the same. Yeah.
That is deeply philosophical and good. Yeah. People take a lot of time to get to that kind of an understanding. There's always a feeling that I'm better than you.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when it comes to the mind, it's how we use it. So if you were not, or if you had not discovered coding, what would you have rather done, or what would you rather do?
Well, I don't know actually. I've invested so much time in coding. Like maybe I'd go to being like a horse trainer or dog trainer, or maybe even an economist. Yeah, that's my dream so far. Also a lawyer, maybe. Yeah, lawyer probably. Yeah.
Maybe write programs for lawyers.
Yeah. Jury.
Yeah, they have to process a lot of information, right?
Maybe you could make a computer lawyer.
There's one thing which I also wanted to understand, which is you are probably doing programming in school as well.
Yes.
Right? Now, do you see any difference when you're doing programming as a part of your subject in school versus when you are doing programming as a hobby?
Major difference, because the point is I have to go along with my peers, along with the teacher's pace, even though I know more. Like we've just started Python with them in school, but I've known Python for years. So it's just like painful to just go like print hello world. I'm like, I know this already.
So then you could teach the others, or you could be setting some examples.
Yeah, like sometimes my friends will just like, not all systems work, so we have to share. And there are like purposefully code some like complex thing, and it will do some like inputs, outputs, like ciphertexts. And people are like, whoa.
What else can we share? Because this coming month, March, we normally feature women only in the podcast. Because March 8th is International Women's Day, but we said that we will have only women featured in this month. Now, we are going to have people from different ages. So is there anything that you want to ask or tell, say, the older women who are in IT?
Okay. Yeah, so well, I guess just by my example, I feel like anybody can code. Since I'm so young, people think I'm like only into dogs, puppies, yeah. But I know a lot more than I should, at least in a stereotypical thing. So this is just to prove that anybody can do anything, just if they put their mind to it. Yeah.
Wonderful. I think that's a great message. So thank you once again, Anjali, for coming on the show and sharing your story. We wish you all the best, so all your dreams may come true. Thank you.
Thank you.
We thank Siddharth for the music and Anita for promoting the Software People stories.
If you like this episode,
Please subscribe on your favorite podcast client.
And spread the word in your network.
if you'd like to share your story,
Contact us at podcasts@pm-powerconsulting.com.